Good afternoon, Mrs. Smith and board. I wanted to first thank you all for the opportunity to present what I believe will significantly elevate our company's performance and cultivate a thriving workplace here at Swift Software. For those of you who have yet to meet, my name is Kylie Knighton and I am the Director of Human Resources. Today, I'm excited to share 3 key HR analytic strategies created to propel Swift Software forward. The first is strategic planning, and that enables us to define the direction that we're headed and establish our goals and objectives. Looking at the data will help us not only to make the informed decisions, but to be confident in the decisions we've made. And lastly, to improve Swift Software's overall performance. So how are we going to get there? Here's the 3 methods to success. The first is risk, retention, assessment, and cost. Second, employee attitude and engagement. And lastly is HR development. These methods are not just about the numbers and the data, but really fostering a culture of excellence, engagement, and continued improvement amongst all employees here at Swift. Let's start with our retention. Having only around 50 employees here at Swift means that each member plays a crucial role in our company's performance. I've taken into consideration separation, replacement, training, and performance costs when determining our total cost of employee separation. Through retention assessment, we can leverage data to really identify any patterns that we're seeing that are leading to turnover. So this approach will empower us to implement different retention strategies to ensure that we're retaining our top talent for overall company and employee growth. So the first I took into consideration is our separation cost. And as you can see here, about $7,200 goes into each employee separating from the company. Second, I took into consideration the cost to replace each employee, which came out to be about $11,711. And this includes onboarding, staff meetings, any testing, entrance interviews, communicating the job availability. But overall, the majority of the funds, about 62%, comes from travel and moving. So we may want to take into consideration having employees work virtually. The third cost to take into consideration when it comes to retention is training. So onboarding and the cost of orientation for these new employees came out to be $17,184. The performance cost is $125,000, and this involves assessing the effectiveness and efficiency of the current HR practices, making sure that they align with the organizational goals. So we use this to make sure things are going well, looking for areas of opportunity to see where we can improve, how we spend our time and our money to make sure that every employee is engaged and developing within their roles. So the overall estimated cost of employee separation is around $161,000. And again, this takes performance, training, replacement, and separation into consideration. Turnover has negative implications both financially and to the morale of the company. So when numerous employees continue to leave, it doesn't send a message of growth or success to the company. It actually does the opposite. So this approach will empower us to implement retention strategies and ensure that we are retaining our top talent, so that way we have all the necessary tools to sustain our growth. The next method is employee engagement, and I wanted to include this chart as a visual to show you all the correlation between effective workplace attributes such as attitude and engagement and how that directly correlates to organizational outcomes. So as you can see in this chart, satisfaction directly correlates to employee productivity and customer satisfaction, so on the client end as well. So in HR analytics, there's several methods that you can use to determine employee engagement. So the method that I used was Utrecht Work Engagement Scale 9, and this is where we ask 9 different questions and allow the employees to rate the questions from 0 to 9, saying whether they completely agree with the statement or they never agree with the statement. So I listed the questions out. I'm not going to read them to you, but overall, 65% of our employees are always engaged, which is absolutely amazing. I would love to see that number grow to about 80%, even 75% in the next quarter. And I think really looking at HR analytics in a holistic view will help us get to that point. But the largest area of opportunity that I saw was 3 and 4% of our employees saying that they very rarely or never feel this way about the company. So at work, they have a burst of energy. It's concerning that 7% of our employees rarely feel this way. Lastly is HR development. So I'm proposing that we lead a training for team development for all 50 employees. The cost will be around $3,500 and the results will last us up to 2 years. By analyzing performance, we can identify any skill gaps within the organization, and this will be analyzed on a team basis. This will really develop personalized training and development plans for all employees based on their performance and their career goals. We want to measure the impact of the training programs on performance and adjust our strategies accordingly. All right, so I know you're asking now, how do I know that this training will be successful? Overall, the standard deviation break-even value is much smaller than the standard deviation of job performance. So because it's much smaller, I know that the training will be successful for Swift. Now, we also have a really high chance of covering the initial costs by improving the performance of each of the 50 employees that are going to participate. So I am proposing that we make this a mandatory training for all employees at Swift. By investing in retention risk assessment, employee attitude and engagement, and HR skill development, we're not only aligning with industry best practices, but we're creating a workplace that attracts, retains, and develops talented employees. So together, let's build a company that not only adapts to change, but let's drive it. Let's set new standards for innovation and excellence in the software industry. Thank you all so much for your time today. Thank you for your attention. And I do look forward to answering any additional questions that you have and collaborating in the near future. Have a great day.